finishing up matrices of transformation. So today we are going to start, at least I have information that you're done with that topic. So today we are starting with statistics. That is one of those topics that you hadn't done, statistics. Okay, so you can have your head in statistics. So what comes to mind when you hear the word statistics? What do you think about? What do you think we are going to do in this topic?
Mean. Yeah, me.
Yes, please.
Mean, median.
First one is a simple.
Excuse me, Hajjat.
Yes, please.
Hajjat.
Yes.
These people. Okay.
Okay, Matovu. Judith.
I think statistics is all about counting.
Okay, there's a bit of counting. What else do you think is there? Who else has an idea? Yes, Irene. Irene, do you have any idea?
Collecting and analyzing data.
Of course, that is a very good answer. So in statistics, definitely, we are going to collect and analyze data and also present it. Any other idea, Nantume?
Organizing data in their specific categories.
Very good. So we are organizing, we are collecting, we are presenting data. And when you think about what you do in geography, you have looked at some information. Data is information. For example, talked about climate in Africa and so on, even if it was Uganda. How do you remember having presented that information in geography? How did you present that information? Who remembers? Any information you are looking at? Rauda?
It was in table form.
Okay, you can put information in table form. Annette?
We put them on a graph.
Okay, you can put information on a graph. Martha, any other different answer?
No, it was on a graph.
Okay, so you have a table, you have a graph. Crystal? Crystal, any other different way of presenting information? Nakato? Hello, Nakato, your hand is up.
Yes, teacher, I'm saying we do pie chart.
Okay, that's a very good one. So we've looked at, somebody has given us pie charts. I hope all of us know how to draw a pie chart, isn't it? Then we can put information on a graph. We can put information on a table. So when we are looking at this topic, statistics, we even draw the graphs that you're talking about. We have bar graphs. I think they are the common ones you draw in geography, isn't it? So we have bar graphs. We have histograms, we have pictograms, we have pie charts. Sometimes we can even present information in line graphs. Okay, all of that, you are presenting information, you are analyzing it, and then you can also interpret it from whatever you have. So in our topic of statistics, we need to know that it is a topic that deals with collection, presentation, and interpretation of data, which data is information. Information of all sorts. It could be about health, it could be about climate, it could be about anything you want to analyze, okay? So in math, we look at bar graphs as a way of presenting our information. And something about bar graphs is that you draw your, for example, you draw your axis, and then you put bars, and those bars must have the same width, okay, to represent whatever you want. And the spacing in between those bars must be the same. So if you had something represented like this, this kind of information is what is on a bar graph. If it was a pie chart, I hope all of us know how to draw a pie chart. We use sectors, so we draw a circle, and then you have different sectors in that circle representing your information, okay? Now, somebody mentioned information in a table, and when we are dealing with work here, if we decide to put our information in a table, we call that table a frequency table. And in that table, definitely we are meeting the word frequency. Who knows what frequency means? It's an English word, frequency. What comes to mind when you hear that word?
Number of times.
Priscilla, if you hear the word frequency, what comes to mind?
Teacher, it means, for instance, the number of times something appears.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
So if I gave you I gave you some numbers, for example, say 40, 50, 70, okay, 35, 68, 70, 28, 45, 35, you get that information. And we tell you those are marks that girls obtained in a test. And I say, I want you to find out, group that information. Okay, this information can easily be put in a table whereby you find out if how many got 28. Okay, so your item, your mark will be 28, and you find out how many times 28 appeared in the marks that were given. So the number of times that you see that 28 is what we are giving a name, the frequency. So just like somebody told us, the number of times any other data is appearing is what we are calling frequency. So when we draw that table to show us that data, we are calling it a frequency table. So this frequency will definitely appear in our table. Is that okay? Are we okay?
Yes,
Okay.
teacher.
Yes. So if I gave you these sticks, a boy counting this number of sticks, I have 49, 50, 49, 51, 47, 53, 50, 51,
Teacher, we can't see clearly.
8, okay? 49, 48, 48, and then I have 49, 50, 50, 50, 49, 51, 48, 47, 51, 50, 52. So if I wanted to represent this data in the table we are talking about, which we have called the frequency table, we present our table like this. We write our score or the mark, okay? And then find out how many times that score has been written, okay? And we are going to call that the what? The tally. So after finding out the number of times that score is written, then we write that answer, which is our frequency. Okay? So this is the kind of presentation you would want. You write your score, the tally, and then the frequency. So it is good to start in a ascending order. Okay, so you start, which is the smallest digit. I think from quick, I see 47 is the smallest. So you write your 47. Find out how many times 47 is appearing. Then I see a 48. Then I see 49. Then there is 50. Then we have 51. And then 52. Our last mark is 52. So when we are presenting our tally, we are going to bundle our files. So 49, I'm saying it one time. You write your stick there. 50, one time. 49, the second time. 51, one time. 47, 53, one time. Then 50, the second time. 51, the second time. 48, the first time. 49, the third time. 48, another 48. Then we are here, 49, the fourth time. 50 will be the third time. Another 50, the fourth time. So when you get to the fifth one, 50, bundle. And I do that. So that would mean that those are 5 50s. Then 49, I have the fifth one, we bundle. 51, it is the third one. 48 will be the fourth one. 47 is the second 47. 51, the fourth one. 50 would now be the sixth one. 52 would be the first one. So after presenting your tally, then you write out the number of times that have come out from your tally. So how many 47s did we have? They were 2. How many 48s? They were 4. How many 49?
5.
How many 50? They are 6.
6.
51, 4. 51 is 4. The 6 is for 50. Okay? The 6 is the 50.
Teacher, we can't sit down.
Okay, don't worry. Let me move it a bit. How about that?
No.
Can you see?
No. We still can't sit down.
2%.
Okay, don't worry. So you are at 50, 51. You can see 51.
You're coming.
It's
Can
half.
you hear me?
No, we can't see 51.
Okay, but from my countings, my 51s were 4. Okay? And then 52 was only 1 and 53 was only 1. So what do I want us to pick from here? That when I present my data this way, this kind of table that I'm creating is what we call a frequency table. So when they give you data, data is any information, and they tell you, put it in a table. This is the kind of table they want, okay? We look at whatever score they've given us, then we tabulate it. How do we do it? By writing out our what? A tally. Then from the tally, we make out our frequency. So what did I want us to pick from here? That this kind of presentation is what we call a frequency table. Is that okay? Is it
Yes,
okay?
teacher. Yes,
Okay.
teacher.
Yes.
So can we put down an introduction, just a bit, then we shall continue with our work. So you can write your heading statistics, and you say that this is a topic that involves, statistics is a topic that involves collection, statistics is a topic that involves collection, presentation, and interpretation of data. Statistics is a topic that involves collection, presentation, and interpretation of data. Okay? And then data is any information Data is any information which could range in so many fields of science. Any information in so many fields of science. Politics, so many fields like science, politics, industry, and commerce.
Teacher, pardon.
Data is any information. Data is any information in so many fields like science, politics, industry, commerce, etc. So if we need to analyze anything in politics, we can use data, okay? And we can present that data in whatever way we want. If it is commerce, we want to look at trade. If there's any information we want to analyze, we still use statistics. So we are just understanding that data is any information in whatever field you want. This data can be presented in the following ways. Data can be presented in the following ways, i.e., data can be presented in the following ways, i.e., bar graphs or charts, bar graphs or charts.
Hajjat, Sarah.
Yes, please.
Hajjat.
Yes, I can't hear you. Somebody is asking a question. Hello, put up your hand, please, so that I can know. Hello, can we continue?
Yes.
Okay, so I was giving the ways in presenting data, and I say data can be presented in the following ways. One, using bar graphs or charts. Using bar graphs or charts. Pictograms. Pie charts, and line graphs. Pictograms, pie charts, and line graphs.
Excuse me, teacher. Did you say histograms or pictograms?
Pictograms. Okay, you use pictures, eh? Pictograms, pie charts, and line graphs. Pictograms, pie charts, and line graphs. We have two types of data. There are two types of data. Ungrouped data, and grouped data. Two types of data. We have ungrouped data and grouped data. So just like the word, the English word is, to group means put together. So when data is ungrouped, it means it is not put together. For example, what we had here, we had a number of figures displayed here. They are not in any group. So this kind of data is what we call ungrouped data. Then we'll also find cases where we group our data and give it a range, that from this range to this range. then our data will be called grouped data. Okay? For example, so we have two types of data, grouped data and ungrouped data. For example, a boy counted a number of sticks and recorded the following counts. A boy counted a number of sticks and recorded the following counts. For example, a boy counted a number of sticks and recorded the following counts. A boy counted the number of sticks and recorded the following counts. So the counts we are going to record are the ones that I have here. Can I read the numbers for you?
Yes.
Yes.
So are we ready? Okay. 49, 50.
Yes.
49,
Mm-hmm.
51, 47, 53, 50, 51, 48, 49, 48, 48, 59, 50, 50, 50, 49, 51, 48, 47, 51, 50, and 52. Are we together?
So what's the last number?
The last number is 52. The last number is 52. Okay? This type of information can be arranged in what is called a frequency table. This type of information can be arranged in what is called a frequency distribution table, as shown below. This kind of information can be arranged in what is called a frequency distribution table, as it's shown below. So we are going to draw the table in our books, just like we did. So we are writing score as the first column. Then we have tally as the second column, and then we get the number of times we are getting these figures, which we call the frequency. Okay, so we said we can arrange our numbers in ascending or descending order. So our first number was 47. Our second number was 48. Our third number was 49. Then 50. Then 51, 52, and finally 53. 53 might not appear very clearly on your table, but please remember it is the last figure. And we said we keep writing out. The first digit I had here was 49, so you come to where 49 is and you show that it is 49 appearing once. Then you go to the next one, 50. You show us that it is also the first time you're seeing it. 49, the second time. 51, the first time. 47, the first time. 53, the first time. 50, the second time. 51, the second time. 48, the first time. 49, the second time.
The third time.
Then 48, the second time. 48, the third time. 49, the fourth time. 50, the
Third
third
time.
time. 50, the fourth time. Another 50. So we bundle in fives. So when we get to the fifth 50, we bundle it like we have done here. Then the next one is 49, also 5 times I bundle. Then 51, the third time. 48, the fourth time. 47, the second time. 51, the third time. 50, the sixth time. 51, the fourth time. Very good, thank you. Then 52, the first time, and that is it. Okay? So we said after writing our score, and then we work out how many times the scores are appearing. Finally, the total is going in the column that has frequency. So 47 was appearing 2 times, so you write a 2 here. 48 is appearing 4 times, you write your 4 here. And then 49, these are 5 times. 50, they are 6. 51, 4. 52, 1, and 53, 1. Okay? So that is the table we called our frequency table. Now, at the end of your table, we normally write the total, and the symbol we use to show the total will be that summation sign. So at the end, just below your column of frequency, write that summation sign and you write F. So this would mean the total frequency, and you tell us how many numbers are these. So you add up and give me the total, okay? We normally put this just below the column of frequency, so that we know the total number. That is the information you want. How many numbers did you have? So you write summation, we use this sign, summation of F. So your total is 22 numbers?
23.
23. Plus 4, that is 6. Plus
23.
5, 11, 17, 21, 22, 23. So our total frequency is 23. Can you write it there? Okay, that is it. Now, if our data is grouped data, then we tell you to classify it, okay? We classify it. So, I'm giving another example. This time we are drawing a table, but when our data is grouped. So, are we ready?
Yes.
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 Okay. Pupils in a test. The following are scores of 50 pupils in a test. So can you write them in a column where there are 5 marks? Okay. And you're going to have 10 columns. So I'm reading the first column. Are we ready?
No.
No.
The question, please.
Confused.
The following are scores of 50 pupils in a test. So I'm going to give you these 50 marks, okay? And we are going to group the 50 marks in 10 columns, and in every column, we are going to have 5 marks there. So I'm going to read the marks.
We beg
So
your
do it
pardon.
on the blackboard.
Pardon.
Do it on the board.
Run column Gono.
Teacher,
Hey,
please
no.
do it on the
We can't
blackboard.
understand.
So we have marks for 50 pupils. We are going to put them in 10 columns. We are putting 5 marks in every column. So we have 35, 50, 50, 43, 82. Okay? Then 50, 40, 60, 30, 45, 48, 45, 69, 40, 35, 38, 40, 8, 42, 38, 92, 61, 37, 30, 30,
Teacher, you're
59,
freezing.
72,
Yeah.
64. I'm freezing?
Yeah.
Hey, but mine is okay.
No.
The blackboard is not clear.
And the network is not so good.
So you can't see the figures?
We can't see the figures very well.
Eh? Okay,
They're
let me try
somehow
to
blurry.
Yeah, blood, eh?
Yeah.
How about that? How is that?
Yes. Yes.
Better?
Better.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 4 more columns to go. We have 60, 60, 30, 35, 49, 43. Then 65, 50, 55, 24, 36, 60, 45, 45, 10, 58, and then 55. Can you see the 55?
Yes.
Who is the
50,
lunch asking about?
50, 95. Data. They give us data for 50 students. I think you can see that this is too much. If I was to list my frequency table, just like the first one, the table would be excessively long and for nothing, okay? So when you're given this kind of data, when it is like this, it is still ungrouped data. But the better presentation for this ungrouped data in your table would be to group it, okay? Our lowest mark is a 10, and the highest mark is a 95. So we can decide
The lowest is 8.
And 8.
It's 8.
yeah,
On the fourth,
Fourth column on the last
Fourth column, the last
fourth column.
part.
Yeah,
8.
8. It's 8.
do I have 8? Oh,
Yes,
yes,
after
yes.
40.
Oh, very good.
On the
Very
first
observant.
column.
Very good.
Last one.
So we
55.
have 8 as the last
Teacher, what's the last number up on the last column?
here.
55.
That number is 55.
55.
55.
Okay, thank you,
So
teacher.
this is what I want us to understand, that we can present our data as ungrouped data, but when you have this so much, then we decide to group it, okay? And the grouping, if they tell you group it this way, you do it, or you can also choose. Now, our last digit is a 90. So we are ranging from 8 to 90, okay? So it is better if you have such a big range to even widen the gap. So we can decide to group our work from maybe 0 to 9. Okay? How many values are between 0 and 9? Then the next range, how many numbers are between 0 and 9? Who can tell me? How many numbers are there between 0 and 9?
1.
1.
No.
10.
I was counting my range because I said we are going to group. So we need to know how many numbers do I want to cover from 0 to 9. Can we start counting? It is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So how many numbers are those? They are 10. We expect that between 0 and 9, there are 10 numbers, okay? So our range is going to be for 10. The width of our group will be 10 figures. So if I move from 0 to 9, my next group will start from
10 to
10.
19.
And where will I end?
19.
19. Very
19.
good. That would be your next group. Then the next group will be from 20 to
29.
Are we together? So depending on how much data you have, if it is too much, widen the range, okay? So when we decide to do it this way, then what are we doing to our data? We are grouping, okay? We are grouping our data. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can say that the following ungrouped data, ungrouped data can be grouped. The following ungrouped data can be grouped using a class interval of 10. The following ungrouped data can be grouped using a class interval of 10. The following ungrouped data can be grouped using a class interval of 10, starting with 0 to 9. Starting with 0 to 9. Starting with 0 to 9. So the frequency table, will look like the one below. The frequency table will look like the one below. So we are going to write our class. And then we work out our tally. And from the tally, we are getting our frequency. Okay? class tally frequency. So this time, you are going to do this for me. Our first class is from 0 to 9. We have 0 to 9, and we have agreed that the next range is going to be 10 to 19. So the next range will be 20 to 29. So the next range will be
30 to 39.
So can you go up to when you get to 90 to 99? Okay?
Yes.
Now, after that, can you work out your tally like we did before? And then give me the frequency, and finally give me the total frequency. Can we do that?
70 to
Let's
79.
Can we do that? Come to 50, then you know you made a mistake, because we said the marks we have are for 50 students. Okay? So, so can you work it out and give me the frequency? So we are giving ourselves how many minutes?
10.
10 minutes is too much. Too much. Okay.
5.
Yeah.
7.
5 minutes. Let's give ourselves a maximum.
35, 1, 50, 1.
Let us unmute.
Yeah.
1, 82, 1, 52.
Younger, mute. Oh my God, please talk to yourself.
Richie, can you mute?
Is there a range of 30 to 39?
Somebody was asking a question.
Teacher, is there a range after 30 to 39? No, it's the
Yes,
last.
because your numbers are going up to 95. So we have to go 40 to 49. You see the figures you have. You have 40s, you have 50s, you have 60s, you have 70s, you have 80s, you have 90s. So you have to have all those ranges. Is that okay? So you look at your data and see how far am I going. That's why I said if the smallest was 8 and the biggest is 95, then we have to create all those ranges from the class where 8 will be accommodated to the class where 95 will be accommodated. Okay? So we are moving. Don't stop here. Continue up to when you get to 92, 99. And then you group this. I want to see your tally and frequency. I want to see that we can group those figures in the different classes.
36.
Finally.
Seriously, really.
Okay, are we through with that table?
Wait.
No.
Almost.
Wait. Is it a record for?
How far have we moved?
Oh my God.
40 to 49.
You're still at 40 to 49?
Yes.
70 to 79.
Okay, try to be faster. Our minutes are almost over. Okay. Can we find out how many figures, how many marks you had from 0 to 9?
1.
How many marks are between 0 and 9?
1.
1.
10 and 19?
1.
Okay. 20 and 29? 21, 29? 1 still?
1.
Okay, what about 30? 39?
1.
10.
11.
30 to 39.
11.
Hey,
11.
now can we count?
So there are 11.
To the 11.
Can we count? I'm moving through the first column. This is 1,
11.
2, 3,
3.
4, 5, 6,
There are
7,
11.
8, 9, 10.
11.
Teacher, you missed 1.
You missed
We had
1.
37.
Yes, let's
There are 11.
There are 11.
11.
So if you had 10, add 1 more. There are 11. So what would I expect in your tally? I would expect to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1. So that tells you that that is 11.
11.
Then in the next one, what do we have?
They're also 11.
40 to 49. 40
Yeah,
to 49.
11.
11.
12.
Now, what are we discovering? That when we are grouping our information, please take time to count well, because we cannot have different answers. 40 to 49, can we count? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the correct answer is, it should be 12. So here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Teacher, we can't sit
1,
down.
Okay, but at least you know
we
how
can
we got that. Okay,
Okay.
at least you know how we are grouping. Band of 5, so there should be 2 bundles of 5 and 2, giving you 12. Okay, then the next one, 50 to 59, what do you have?
Yes.
11.
59?
11.
11, very good. 60 to 69?
7.
7, very good. 70 to 79?
2.
Okay, 70 to 79, there are 2. 80 to 89?
1.
Very good. And 90 to 99?
3.
3, very good. So you're finally, what is your total? I should see that summation of F would be, if you've done it correctly, that answer should be 50. Summation of F should be 50. Okay? Is that okay?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to give you this one. You're going to try it on your own, not now. Okay? So decide, how do you draw the table? Is it as grouped data or as ungrouped data? Okay? So you're trying this one. Draw a frequency distribution table. Draw a frequency distribution table. Draw a frequency distribution table for the following data. For the following ungrouped data. Draw a frequency distribution table for the following ungrouped data.
Yeah, what's that? Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, please.
What's the number after 3? Like the second 3, what's the number after the second 3?
This one?
Yes. Yeah.
That's a 4.
Okay.
That is
Thank you.
4.
Thank you,
This is
teacher.
2, this is 1, this is 5, that is 3.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome.
Shall before.
So you are given that data and they want you to draw a frequency distribution table. So that will be what you'll do, and you'll give me your solutions. Not now, but put it down.
Teacher,
Yes, please.
what are the last two numbers?
Ayub.
The last
Ani
number
aliao.
is a 7.
No, the
Number
last
Ayub
Seven
two
and
numbers.
4. This one,
The last two.
this one, these two.
Teacher.
This is 7 and this is 4.
Teacher, what's the one after the second 5 and the last?
After the second?
After the second 5.
After the second 5. 1, 2. That's a 4.
No, here on the last row.
That's a 4. Oh, here, 1. This is 1. That is a 1. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so you are going to group that data. I mean, draw a table for me. I didn't say group, I say draw a frequency distribution table for that information. What would it look like? Okay.
Like the first table.
Can we go on?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Now, whenever we are given data, we are normally tasked to find the mean. Who remembers? Who can tell us what does mean mean? What does mean? What do you understand by this word mean?
Average.
Average. How do we get the average?
We divide
How do we
number.
get average? How do you get the average of any information you have? What do we do?
Add all the numbers. Some of the numbers.
We get the sum of the values we have. Okay? So this will be sum of your marks. After getting the sum of the marks, what do I do to give me average?
You divide by the number.
Shamim, an answer please. How do I get mean? Shamim, how do I get average?
Total.
Mansura, how do I
Number
get
of
average?
rows.
You divide
Average.
number of the amount of the number of information given.
So the amount, so the number. Number, for instance, if there were pupils, and I needed the average mark, then I'll get the total marks, okay, over the number of pupils or items, okay? So here we can have number of items, total sum, total number or sum over the number of items. So every time you're asked for mean, you're looking for the average. You're looking for the average. So we need to know the total marks over the number of items that we are talking about. Okay? So you can say, write your mean of ungrouped data as your subheading, mean of ungrouped data. Mean of ungrouped data. Mean of ungrouped data, and you can say to find the mean, total the scores, total the scores, and then divide by the number of scores given. To find the mean, total the scores, and then divide by the number of scores given. To find the mean, total the scores, and then divide by the number of scores given. I.e., mean B Okay, so if we have an example, e.g., 10 pupils in a class, 10 pupils in a class obtained the following marks. 10 pupils in the class obtained the following marks. 10 pupils in a class obtained the following marks. 50, 45, 38, 40, 60, 55, 70, 52, 62, and 68. 62 and 68. Find the mean mark. Find the mean mark. In your presentation, we must see the working. Don't put all your working in the calculator and then you give us an answer. So show us how you get the sum of the quantities over the number of items. Then you give me an answer. Okay, find the mean mark. Do we have an answer?
Yes,
Teacher, wait
teacher.
a little.
Okay. So your total marks is what? So I expect to see 45 plus 38 plus 40 plus 60 plus 55 and so on. Okay. So what total do you get there?
540.
540.
Very good. How many items do you have? How many students do you have?
10.
There,
10.
10. So when you write out that total, you're going to
So
divide
it will be
it
54.
by 10. So you get 540 divided by 10 and your answer
Which is
is
54.
very
54.
good. Okay. Now sometimes your mark, your average might not be a whole number. Okay. Please give it as it is. Okay? Now, our second example. Are we ready?
Yeah.
In sampling of the number of beans in a pod,
I beg your pardon.
in sampling the number of beans in a pod, in sampling the number of beans in a pod, in sampling the number of beans in a pod, the following was found. The following was found. Find the mean number of beans per pod. Find the mean number of beans per pod. Find the mean number of beans per pod. So we have the number of beans in the pod, and we are giving it a letter X. And then we have the number of pods. Are you familiar with the word pod? Huh? Are you familiar with it?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so if all of us know what a pod is, okay, we are now going to find from the information in our table here, we know what a pod is. So they are telling us that 5 of our pods have no beans in them. Okay? 5 of them don't have any beans in them. Then 7 of our pods have only 1 bean. 8 of our pods have 2 beans. 9 of our pods have 3 beans. 7 of our pods have 4 beans. And finally, 4 of our pods have how many? 5 beans. Okay? So we have our beans in the pod. We are calling it X. The number of pods is F. Okay? So if I have 5 pods with no beans, 7 pods with 1 bean, and so on. That is the information they've given us. So they've given us their information that way. And they want us to find the mean. And mean, we are getting the total number. And then we divide it by the number of items that we have. Okay? Now, we can present this in a table. But before we do that, if you are not going to use a table, and you remember what mean is, we are getting the total number. It means I'm going to get my 5 pods, and I multiply those 5 pods by what? By 0. Then I add. I have 7 of them, and those 7 are all giving me only 1. Then I have 8 that have 2. So how many would I have? I have 9 times 3 plus 7 times 4 plus 4 times 5. This will give me the total number. Then how many pods do I have? You're going to add 5. You don't add the number of beans, but you add the what? The pods. Those are the items you have. That in those pods, when you open up, you check the number of bean seeds that are there. So the number of items will be the number of pods. And this will be 5 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 7 plus 4. Okay, so if I have done it just like my definition talks about mean, you can do it this way. Okay, otherwise, to make this working shorter, we use a table. So can we first work out mean here? Tell me what you get. Then we see how we present this information in the table to work out the same mean. Can you work it out so that I see the mean that you're going to have? Yes, Annette.
Teacher, I've not understood why we are multiplying.
Oh, okay. Now, let's go back a bit. We said that the mean will be the total number of items. And to get the total number, we are adding. Okay, we are getting the sum. Mean is the total number of items over the number of items. Okay? So, how many bin pods will how many bins will I have? Total number of bins, okay? Over the number of pods that will give me the bins. So, if I have 5 pods with no bin in them, and you told me that you understood the word pod, okay? If you've seen bins before they are removed, that would look like your pod. When you open it, you find bin seeds. So our information is saying 5 of these pods don't have any bins. Okay? 7 of them have only 1 bin. If there are 7 of them and there's only 1 bin, how many bins are you going to have? How many bins are you going to have?
7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. So altogether, there'll only be 7, isn't it? Is that okay?
Yeah.
So now,
Yes.
how do I get this 7? It is the same as saying my 7 pods times 1, because there's only 1 bin. So I will get what? 7. If I drew them, I'll still have 7 in there. So if I have 5 of them and there is nothing, it is the same as saying 5 times what? 0. How many bins will I have? Nothing. If there are 7 and there's only 1 in each, how many bins will I have? It will be 7 times 1, which is 7. If they were 8 pods and in every pod I have 2, okay? You draw your pod, you put 2 bin seeds. You draw your pod, you put 2 bin seeds. By the time you get to the 8th one, you will have 16 of them. Am I clear? So yes. To write that, it is the same as saying 8 times 2. Okay? How many will be in the 9? It will be 9 times what? Times 3. How many are going to be in the 7? It will be 7 times 4, and so on. Am I clear on that one? So if we wanted the total number, we would have to count all of them. So to the easy way of counting is we are going to have to involve multiplication. Okay? We say 5 times 0 plus 7 times 1 plus 8 times 2 plus 9 times 3 plus 7 times 4 plus 4 times 5. So this one gives you the total number of bin seeds over how many pods. How many pods were involved in this survey? You count the pods. It will be 5 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 7 plus 4, which is what we wrote down here. Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, so what is your average? What is your mean? What do you get as your mean?
2.45.
2.45.
2.45?
Yes.
Okay, so your total was what? 98?
98 divided by 40.
Very good. So this time your mean would be
2.45.
Okay. Now, how else can we work out the mean without doing this? I said we can draw a frequency table. And from the frequency table, we can work out the mean, okay? So after that, can you say, we can also use a frequency table to work out the mean, as shown below. We can also use a frequency table to work out the mean, as shown below. A frequency table to work out the mean as shown below. And also use a frequency table to work out the mean as shown below. So we are going to draw our table. We are first going to see how many bins are in the pod, and then the number of pods, and we are going to call our number of pods F. How did we get the total in the first case? We multiplied our F and our X, okay? So you draw your table like this. Number of bins in your pod, when they have bins, how many pods didn't have? They were 5. So what is F times X? Our answer will be 0. Is that okay? Then when the bins are 7, no, when it is 1 bin in the pod, how many pods have 1? It is 7. 1 times 7 gives you 7. When there are 2, we have 8 pods that have 2. 2 times 8 gives you 16. Okay? Then 3 and 9. 3 times 9 gives you 27. Then 4 and 7. 4 and 7 gives you 28. And then finally you have 5 and 4. 5 and 4 gives you 20.
20.
And then we work out our summation of F. Okay? Please work out your summation of F. What do you get? When you add up 7 plus 16 plus 27 plus 28 plus 20, what is your total?
98.
Very good. 98. Okay? So now the mean will be the total number of items, which is the summation of Fx. Sorry, here I've written summation of F. It is Fx, okay? This is summation of Fx. That is the total number of items we have. Total number of bins over the number of items, which is the summation of F. So when we are working out mean, when we are working out mean, I'm putting it here. After drawing the table, our mean will be the summation of Fx over the summation of F. So every time we have put our information in the table form, then we find our mean using summation of Fx over the summation of F. Now, our total there was 98 and the number of pods was 40. So when you divide, you say your answer was 2 point what?
45.
And you give your answer like that. So don't say because in the first one, our answer was exact. Now I have a decimal, you leave it like that, okay? Avoid rounding off. The more decimal places you write your answer to, the more accurate you are, okay? And it's preferred that you write your answer to at least 2 decimal places. Is that okay?
Teacher?
Yes, please.
Can you write your answer in fraction form?
In fraction form?
Yeah.
Hey, you wanted 245 over 100. I think when you work it out and get it that way, it is okay. If you write it as a fraction, it's still okay, but I think you can leave it as a decimal. You can leave it as a decimal. Okay, so we have just a few minutes. We have just 3 minutes to the end of the lesson. There, I think that will be it. I wanted you to take some other number as homework, but I think I'll send it. Okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I'll send.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome.
Matovu, how do we get
welcome.
into the bios
Thank you.
lesson?
Thank you.
Teacher, I have a small communication.
Yes, please.
Form 3 Westerners, we have a bios lesson at 2. It's always on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. When you're
Okay.
when you're added to the bios group, it's where you'll get the information and the link that Mr. Mchibi keeps on sending. So you talk to Adwenyu and Mr. Mchibi to add you to that. Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Other classes
You're
also are
welcome.
Thank you, Lapobo.
Teacher.
Yes, I was going to leave the meeting, but I can listen to you. Yes, please.
Teacher, how did you get the mean?
How did I get?
The mean, like this say the EF of X.
Hey, you see, when you remember what we did in our table, before we presented it in the table, we got how many bins do we have all together? So if there were 5 pods with no bin, how did we know that total? It was 5 times 0, okay?
Yes.
If there were 7 with 1 bin, we got 7 times 1, and we calculated all the number of bins that we'll get from all the pods. So when I put it in a table, it is the same thing. The first column is talking about the number of bins in the pod. The second one is talking about the number of pods. So how will I get that total? It is the number of bins times how many pods have those bins. So 5 times 0 gives you 0.
Yeah.
So we are doing our multiplication, but this time when we are presenting our work in the table. So it's the same thing, only that this time I've not written 0 times 5, but I've presented it and showed you that if I get x and multiply it by f, I will get fx, which is a 0. Okay? Is it okay?
Teacher, thank you. Yes, teacher, thank you.
Okay. Okay, have a nice day.
Okay, assalamu alaikum.
Yes.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice lunch.
You too.